Can't get enough of that rhythm and blues song from the rhythm and blues sound of DJ Williams from the YouTube audio library. Check it out. Log into Creator Studio, click audio library, and type DJ Williams into the filter box to hear some of that awesome stuff and get a link to his YouTube channel. One of the things that I love about this YouTube audio library revision, the UI thing, even though the date thing kind of caused the problems I had earlier, one of the things I really like is that artists can now get promoted through the YTAL because the YouTube audio library now has links to your YouTube channels, and there's a little icon. You can click the icon to go over to people's YouTube channels and things along those lines. What is up, everybody? This is Jay, aka MultimediaJay, returning to YouTube streaming and finding out that the team that does live control room at YouTube. Remember, YouTube is massive. And just like YouTube is a platform nowadays that includes lots of different things, YouTube itself is a company that includes lots of different groups. So you may, as you learn more about this platform, have different opinions of the different groups. As much as I'm wondering how the engineers missed that there are people out there refeeding YTAL tracks into the Content ID system, the live team that's working on live control room and all the new features that they've been very ferociously working on this year that have developed YouTube streaming into what it is becoming, those people have a lot to be commended for. There's a lot of cool features, and it's something where streaming on YouTube is a lot less clunky than it used to be. And I really have to give these folks credit for everything they're doing. So it came as a bit of a surprise to me. But this is, again, a little bit of Twitch bias, because I've spent more time streaming on Twitch before kicking the tires on YouTube streaming. It surprised me. I was wondering why nobody chatted last time. I was like, well, you know, small stream, couple of concurrents, nobody cares. The reason why is because the default setting since the latest revision of Live Control Room turns chat off. So there's 3 settings. Hello, lawnmower. It's early enough for there to still be people doing stuff in the neighborhood. What am I doing? Well, actually, with the lack of light bleeding through the curtains, it is almost sunset. So anyways, the default setting for chat is off. I have no idea why, but then again, this is general purpose streaming we're talking about. If this isn't Twitch. Twitch has a massive emphasis on personality streaming. There must always be a streamer, the person matters, all these kinds of things. But I can tell you right now, these concurrents are amazing, and they're already blowing away what I get on Twitch. So thanks to the folks for stopping by. So I figured there's probably more people interested in watching what it is that I'm doing at this time of night. So as much as I did the Friday Live It thing over on Twitch and stuff like that, I think I should do more stuff in the PM hours. If anything, this could actually be a motivation for me to get off of night shift and return to day shift, where I will be, where I can do more evening streaming on more days of the week. That might be something that might be worth pursuing, but the problem is I would sacrifice YouTube video capabilities in order to do so. There's lawnmowers going in the neighborhood because we finally got some rain here in New England, and we're having the grass grow in October, whatever. So there's people that are mowing their grass, even though it's almost Halloween, whatever. So, so it's better for me to be the night owl that I am when it comes to YouTube videos. Don't abate it. Thanks for the follow. That's over on Twitch, by the way. So, well, does that mean that YouTube, does this mean that YouTube, does this mean, maybe I should turn off the pop-ups for this for now. So let's turn out, this is YouTube. So we'll play catch up on that whenever I go back to Twitch. So, but why should I at this point? Look at this. I've been saying lots of nice things about YouTube streaming, and I mean it. Team Red Team Red is to be taken seriously in today's day and age, and this is only going to get even more serious with Twitch and the new era that has begun over there with DMCA. So there was an issue, for those of you unfamiliar, and let's get some music going. Some nice YTAL music, more some DJ Williams and Slink. Pop open that Winamp. Whereas I could actually in 2020 find a use for it. Let's pop that sucker open here. So, Twitch in 2020 has had all kinds of problems that we've all seen on YouTube before. specifically related to the DMCA. So, there was a bunch of stuff from the RIAA earlier. They said they'd work on tools. They have those tools. And they sent a final warning to creators saying, hey, time's up. You got to get your stuff together. We're going to resume normal processing for DMCAs. And of course, I said when I talked about this on Twitch yesterday that the thing that people have to watch out for is what YouTube went through. Just because a platform scrambles to develop a system doesn't mean the system's going to work very well right off the bat. When YouTube first started really doing stuff with DMCA, there was a lot of things with strikes. There were lots of strikes, people abusing the system, people using it to censor people and things like that. And then, of course, the record companies also got involved, and various rights holders were going on striking sprees and things like that, until an alternative to strikes came out. Then we started seeing videos get muted, and then we started seeing Content ID claiming, and now today, apparently, from some folks I've been watching who've tested this in YouTube videos, multiple record companies can split up your ad revenue amongst themselves if multiple songs are in your video. So I think the next thing, and I've said this so many times, but I'm going to keep saying it until it happens, because YouTube totally should do this. The next step in developing Content ID is a proportional claim system. So if someone uses a 3-minute song in a YouTube video, 3 minutes of ad revenue to the record company. It's easy. And then again, so I think this is going to be a discussion that YouTube is going to be forced to have and forced to reckon with as streaming becomes bigger on YouTube. So, Colonel Scramble, thanks for the follow on Twitch. My OBS is basically, I got 2 follows on Twitch just from 10 minutes of streaming. That's YouTube, baby. So, yeah, so anyways, YouTube, OBS still has all my Twitch stuff open. I can flip between profiles to change platforms. Or am I streaming on Twitch by mistake and I'm actually double streaming and sapping the living daylights out of my bandwidth? Hold on a second. Boy, would that be funny. No, I am not live on Twitch. Good. I was hoping OBS didn't screw something up. So, we got to make some graphics, gonna make some PowerPoint graphics, talk about the road ahead for YouTube and Twitch. We've already talked about YouTube streaming versus Twitch streaming with regards to general purpose versus personality streaming. We're gonna be busting out PowerPoint for that. There's another thing I want to make. I don't know, it's not very important right now. And that is, let's see here. We might as well just put this on screen so it's not just my ugly mug. I'm a fat guy trying to be cool with sunglasses in a house with blue lights. What do they... So I made this graphic earlier for highlighting just the differences in streaming between YouTube and Twitch. That you're talking personality streaming, which is basically the centerpiece of Twitch. I mean, think of just the idea of a streamer. Team Purple has done a very good job of focusing on the people side of streaming. But on YouTube, as an extension of a general-purpose video platform, we're talking about streaming essentially being anything. I mean, I can show you live streams of, like, you know, animal shelters, wildlife cams, traffic cameras, even undersea cameras. Like, you can see fish. You can see fish and stuff swimming in, like, a reef or something. There's a live feed and whatnot, and it's just been... And then, of course, how about TV channels, or better yet, QVC? QVC's been streaming on YouTube persistently for years now, I think, unless they had to restart their stream. So, it's just... Once you get into a general-purpose platform, you really start to notice how you've been fishbowled. Let me actually look up QVC on YouTube right now. Yeah, QVC TV, I better mute this tab. The live stream, 317 people are watching QVC on YouTube right now. Mute! Started streaming on June 4th, 2020. So they've been streaming for months at a time because it's QVC. Oh, they must have had to restart it for some reason. I actually saw a while back where they'd been streaming since 2019, 2018, things like that. Not going to show it on screen, obviously, but they do actually. QVC TV on YouTube, if you want to go sub and, like, buy stuff, I don't know. Or, you know, all the jokes about, I'm so bored, I'm watching QVC at 3 in the morning. You know, I've seen plenty of those over the years. But once you get out of Twitch, and you get into general-purpose streaming like YouTube, extending a general-purpose video site into the live streaming world, you start seeing, you know, you start thinking differently about streaming. And you start noticing just how strong Twitch's marketing is. So, all right, the road ahead. So Twitch streamers have some really ugly times ahead because many of them have to figure out what it is that they're going to do next in this new environment where Twitch has said, no more freebies, it's DMCA time if you screw something up like that. So, my last slide on parasocial relationships. Did I save that? Yes, I did. So I can just blank this out and start a new one. I have a generic template. For this. Let's get some PowerPoint going here, and, well, YouTube versus Twitch, we can close that one down and put PowerPoint back on the screen. So, I actually should get that working. I should change my alerts so that both types of alerts show up at once. So I can see so-and-so followed on Twitch, so-and-so followed on YouTube, or subbed on YouTube. Different terminology. So, I think the first thing we need to talk about is the shakeout that's coming up. If you don't know what a business shakeout is, it's when numerous people exit or numerous players exit a market because they just can't cut it. I think we're going to see that with Twitch. The upcoming Twitch streamer shakeout. This is probably the first thing we need to look at here. Post-DMCA. Yeah. Upcoming Post-DMCA Twitch streamer shakeout. Is that better grammar? Bam. The upcoming Post-DMCA Twitch streamer shakeout. Fun time is over. Twitch has resumed, and the lawnmower has resumed as well. Twitch has resumed normal. Well, haha. Put that in quotes. Twitch has resumed normal processing of DMCA takedowns. This has led to, of course, numerous streamers have blanked their channels and cut the copyrighted music from their streams. So now what? Right. Shakeout. Business term for when... Let's see here. A shakeout is a business term. You know what? Why don't we quit being stuffy about it? I just gotta change the... Da-da, da-da. Why don't we just turn that back on? There we go. I gotta change the alerts so I can have both YouTube and Twitch alerts going. So it'll say explicitly that someone followed on Twitch or they subbed on YouTube or something along those lines. The YouTube, I also gotta see if there's a way I can have both OBS panels open at once for Twitch and YouTube in the same OBS. Because that's the thing, I can't see anything that happens on YouTube right now. It's still on my Twitch stuff. I think I had to close and reload I think I had to unload, reload when I change platforms in order for things to switch over. But I would love to be able to just flip between the two or see both at once. OBS Live with stream elements. Get to work on it. Let's get this done now. Shakeout, business term for when weaker competitors exit a market. So you'll have a situation where the markets create winners and losers. This is what happens to the losers. So you can't make the money, you're not big enough, you have no chance of growing big enough to stay competitive, somebody else has an edge over you and you have no chance of catching up. So the thing that streamers have to think about now is, do they even still have a show without the copyrighted music? And this is the sort of thing I just made. I sent over a highlight clip, and that's another thing I gotta do on this stream, by the way, sometime. I want to split the streams and stuff from streams playlists into streams and stuff from streams as separate playlists. So the long form stuff is all by itself. So you don't have like a 2-second highlight followed by a 3-hour VOD or replay or whatever term you want to use for it. This isn't Twitch, so no need to use Twitch lingo. Business term for when weaker competitors exit a market. In this case, we're talking about streamers who can't figure out the road forward for their streams without copyrighted music, or they take so much of a popularity hit because they've lost essentially the ability to have that kind of content. And so because of this, they go back to having regular jobs or something, or they just become a lot less popular than what they were, which then outs that the copyrighted music was what boosted them into being popular in the first place, or in the case of other stuff under DMCA, the over-reliance on React content. So I've done some React content here and there, but it has never been to something like a music video or something. It's always something where I can fire back with commentary versus something that someone else is saying. Usually another content creator who should care just as much about not abusing DMCA as me. So if they get outed as somebody who's abusing takedown rules, it dings their popularity and their ability to attract an audience. We've already seen this with a couple of creators who've been outed for this. So, and of course, I like to talk a lot about what YouTube creators and YouTube Creator Insider are talking about. Throwing some commentary on that as well. Debate Mode on the Radio Style Show has featured that. So, I've done some React content, but it has been very limited for very specific reasons related to DMCA. A record company probably doesn't even care what my opinion is of the latest hot pop song on top 40 radio stations. They just care that I played it on the stream, and I didn't buy the super expensive license to do so. So, knowing who you're dealing with has a lot to do with this. We know the record industry is persistently anti-technology. They have a long history of doing so, and the sad part is, if they started behaving better now, it would take them until after our lifetimes to have spent more time being pro-technology than anti-technology. That's how much the American music industry has backed itself into a corner on this issue of intellectual property and stuff. Think about it. There's information out there that there was problems with radio, there was problems with TV, there's problems with this. Yes, YouTube notifications come over from Twitch, that's the point. I'm looking for the opposite, actually. I'm looking for the opposite, actually. So, the big thing here is that OBS is showing me only the Twitch stuff. I can remove and reload the plugin and get Twitch, or get the YouTube notifications for follows and subs and things along those lines. But I can't see both at once, and it doesn't change over whenever I switch platforms in OBS. A little something for the OBS.live team to work on with Stream Elements. Or I could just switch to Streamlabs. Boy, with that. Streamlabs, I think, is owned by Logitech nowadays. Somebody bought them. Take a look at that. Shakeout, business term for when weaker competitors exit a market. The weaker competitors in this case are going to be the streamers who can't find a road forward for themselves. I mean, it's in the case, there's a couple of people I watch. Copyrighted music was such a central part of what they did between the React content, their alerts, everything like that, that they pretty much have to stop everything and start over from scratch. And by that I mean the rudiments, building up a stream, maybe even go back to generic alerts in Streamlabs, Stream Elements, or something until they make some new ones. Because there's so many folks I've seen out there even using copyrighted music for their alerts. So, really, a really big mess on their hands. And the big issue with this is that this eliminates Twitch's ability to basically slide on this matter. So in the next smallest platform, what, DLive or something, might be where some of these people go if they don't think they can, they don't think they can proceed forward. Business term for when weaker competitors exit a market. Twitch streamers who cannot find a road forward for their streams will either leave the platform. Okay, I found a bug in YouTube Live and YouTube Live Control Room. I'm going to submit that to the live team after the stream. Twitch streamers who cannot find a road forward for their streams, unless I'm supposed to believe that people are constantly leaving and coming back. There's a glitch with the concurrent counter. Literally 40404040. I have a hard time believing that. Usually it drops a lot less wild, but Twitch streamers who cannot find a road forward for their streams will ultimately be who leaves. Yeah, see? This counter is bugged. Something wasn't finished in time for the weekend over at YouTube. Yeah, ultimately who leaves. That's terrible grammar. Twitch streamers who cannot find a road forward for their streams will ultimately be those weaker competitors. There's a whole bunch of things that the streamers have to think about now. Like, for example, if you're an IRL streamer and you go somewhere where copyrighted music is playing in the background, you've got problems now. That's the sad reality here, is that Team Purple is in big trouble because they're now the least competitive platform when it comes to these kinds of things. They have strikes only. They don't even have a system of privating your VODs. So it's not even the case that you can make the defense that, well, I took it down afterwards because of copyright issues to edit it or something. I've got it hidden, so it's not really a public performance. So you don't even have that defense because there's no way to even private your VODs on Twitch. So that's probably something that people are going to scramble to make, just like anything else that their teams are scrambling to make. I know they're scrambling, because there's this little creator updates thing in the corner when you go to Twitch. It's always blue. I see more updates from Twitch than I see from YouTube. They're always trying to say, look, we're working on this. Look, we're working on that. Look, we got this done. Look, we got that done. Sheesh. I'm curious, as much as I lampoon Team Purple sometimes, do those folks get any sleep? No. The big wild card here, though, is that Twitch itself as a platform may end up forced to cave on some of their own stuffiness. So think like exclusivity, for example. You have all these Twitch partners. They decide that they could not make their streams work without copyrighted music. So they're going to become YouTubers or something. Now they got to figure out what to do about the contracts. Twitch partners' contracts are individually negotiated. So you can't speak for anything unless the partner comes out and says, this is what's in my contract. Unlike the Twitch affiliate agreement, which Twitch actually has formal guidance on their own site saying that the language of the exclusivity clause does not stop you from doing what I do, where you stream once, you do this stream on Twitch, that stream on YouTube. The 24-hour exclusivity is only for what's live on Twitch in terms of sending it over afterwards or not multi-streaming. So Twitch actually has explicit guidance in their help files for creators that says that their official interpretation of the exclusivity clause in their Twitch affiliate contract is that you just don't multi-stream. There's nothing stopping somebody from doing a stream on Twitch, stopping the stream on Twitch, and then starting up on YouTube and doing something else on YouTube. Long as it's not multi-streaming, and what was streamed on Twitch isn't on YouTube within 24 hours. So, and I don't know if the enforcement's even there for like making YouTube videos less than 24 hours after a stream, because I've seen partners do that multiple times. I'm guessing the enforcement is mostly multi-stream only. You don't want to be multi-streaming, which is something that Twitch is going to basically die on a hill fighting for. Yeah. Not going to be good, because they're the lone platform with this level of stuffiness. And multi-streaming is better, because there's people out. Number one, the technology is going to catch up to the point where multi-streaming is going to become more of a thing. And it's going to be more feasible for more people with more ranges of internet connections, especially here in the States, when DOCSIS 4 becomes what the cable companies use. One of the big technological improvements of the next DOCSIS standard for cable internet is synchronicity over cable. This is cable striking back against fiber. Because one of the biggest problems with internet in the United States, especially for something like this, is asynchronous connections. Once upon a time, downloads mattered a lot more than upload, because you were doing that most, if not all the time on the internet. That is totally not the case. Not in this day and age of Twitch streaming, YouTube streaming, YouTube video uploading, downloading games on Steam, live video calls, high definition stuff, like if you're operating something remotely via the internet, stuff like that. Very, very completely different world than in the heydays of like DSL. So I'd say that's a form of being competitive or not being competitive, whether or not your internet connections are synchronous. And I've even told this to the cable company who tried to get me to buy gigabit service from them for $100+ US a month. Woo! I don't need gigabit service. I don't have the equipment to handle gigabit service. I don't have the equipment to handle 250 megabyte service. The weak point in my home network is the power line network, so I don't have to rely on Wi-Fi without running a spaghetti cable across the house. Or bring in a contractor to install Ethernet ports. This is a rental, so I'd have to get the landlord's permission to do that. But, so, the best power line stuff, the stuff I have right now can do like 100 megs a second over power line, which is huge, because power line is infamous for being slow and prone to interference from major appliances and stuff. So to have gotten the kind of steady connections I've gotten with a power line link in my home network, That's really something. I'd have to spend over $100 on the next level up of power line equipment to try and get more of the 250 down that I don't get without a spaghetti cable. So, they managed to get me to do 250/20. So, but I would do better if I moved to Verizon Fios territory and I had 75/75 as my service over fiber. So, which one is this? Oh, this is the Emperor's New Nikes by DJ Williams. I say, why does it sound like? Yeah, why does it sound like it's from India or something with the sitars? Is sitar? How the heck do you say that? I don't know. Get back to the more hip-hoppy sounding stuff here. But that's the thing here. Twitch, they got a lot to figure out. And we got to this discussion about it because we're talking about multi-streaming. So, the technology for internet, especially when more synchronous connections are available, is going to make multi-streaming more and more viable. 1080p streaming is 6 megs on both platforms right now. 1080/60 on YouTube is 9 megabit. I actually updated myself on the encoding that YouTube requests for people streaming. There is variable bitrate streaming in Live Control Room, but if you want to do it by resolution at 1080, and YouTube actually has 4K 60 streaming. Whoa. Flexing that technology, YouTube? So, but at 1080, at the haha 1080 level, 30 FPS is 3 to 6 grand on YouTube for a bitrate range. 1080 on 1080/60 is 4.5 to 9 grand. I'm gonna have to dial that in because OBS doesn't actually let me do a bandwidth test on YouTube, but I know I should be able to handle 9 grand easily up, even with asynchronous cable, whatever. But yeah, as internet develops in the US and we start seeing more synchronous connections, multi-streaming is going to become more technologically viable. If you're doing like a multi-stream 1080, I mean, and I'm curious, with how so many of these good-looking streamers out there, unlike me, complain about makeup and everything. I want to do a VTuber stream because I'm sick of putting on all this makeup. Imagine if you go from 1080 to 4K. Who's going to want to go to 4K? It's got to be like all those TV stars that got less popular because people could see their wrinkles when we went from standard def to high def. So, that all over again. Whatever. But hey, photogenic. This is video. If you look nicer, you do better. Just comes with the turf because it's visual medium. And yet people complain about that like that's not like really basic stuff. Why is that good-looking person taking all my viewers? Because they're better looking and it's a visual medium. Go on the radio if you have a face for radio. Oh, wait a minute. So that's the thing. I'm waiting for Twitch to have to cave on their stuffiness because now it's their disciplinary system that is a bigger concern than the DMCA. Way bigger concern. Twitch is the unique home of stuffy exclusivity, but also the TOS for Twitch is such that if you are a banned streamer, you're persona non grata to every Twitch streamer out there. Twitch streamers are supposed to block you out of their broadcasts to not be accidentally supporting ban evasion. This is something Twitch is going to have to figure out. What if somebody doesn't know what they're doing, or there's some false flags or something? 3 copyright strikes, and they're permanent on Twitch, by the way. There's no work-off period yet. That hasn't been set up yet there. So, somebody has some false flagging going on, 3 copyright strikes, they're banned off of Twitch. Now, anybody they play video games with who streams on Twitch has to block them out of their broadcasts. They're automatically persona non grata because of Twitch's own rules. Because of a technical thing not working. There's what should keep Twitch streamers awake at night. Quite frankly, I think there's probably a lot of Twitch partners out there who are they'd better be on the phone with their lawyers going over their contracts. Because, quite frankly, I would be furious, even though I was in the wrong, to be locked into, like, you can't stream anywhere else except Twitch with the new DMCA thing in effect. And now Twitch is now the platform that's the furthest behind on these issues. So, versus where YouTube has gotten more recently. This is too robot-like. We'll skip that one. So, see here. Subpoint, Twitch. is the, shall we say, industry leader in stuffy exclusivity. Even Twitch affiliates have some to deal with. And that's one of the reasons why in my official numbers that I use to keep track of the platforms, I have a section called U-Book. Because you theoretically could double stream on Facebook and YouTube to grow audiences on both platforms. But the big issue is that Facebook has some really important differences versus YouTube, as in the real names thing. I think that's going to hold them back. That's probably going to hamper their growth until Facebook figures something out for that. So I don't take Facebook seriously as a streaming platform. I think fundamentally they're going to bang their head against the wall and kick against the bricks until they either fix the real names thing or shut down Facebook gaming and take all that technology and put it into Facebook Live. And then the live streaming you do on Facebook is things like local events, talking to your family remotely, things like that. Think like when the news does a press conference on Facebook, things like that. That would be a totally different kind of streaming from what happens on Twitch. It would also be some uniqueness for them in the market. But that's all just baggage because of the real names thing. Twitch is the industry leader in stuffy exclusivity. Even Twitch affiliates have to deal with this. Yeah, but not very much. Just the exclusivity 24-hour agreement. Exclusivity period in the affiliate agreement. The big one to be worried about. The big thing for Twitch streamers to worry about is the ban evasion policy. A streamer can be banned for false DMCAs and is now forced to be persona non grata by all their streamer friends on Twitch. This type of rule, this type of overreach just can't survive this new climate on Twitch. Even Twitch is it? What's this? It's asking must. It says I have a passive voice on that. Nah, heck with it, Microsoft. The ban evasion policy. A streamer can be banned for false can be banned for false DMCAs. Now forced to be persona non grata by all their streamer friends on Twitch until they get one of the DMCAs reversed or retracted. That's what they should be concerned about. Let's not forget, no work-off period for strikes on Twitch as of yet. We should probably promote that, because we're not talking about stuffiness anymore. So there we go. The big thing for Twitch streamers to worry about is the ban evasion policy. A streamer can be banned for false DMCAs, now forced to be persona non grata by all their streamer friends until they get one of the DMCAs retracted. No work-off period for strikes on Twitch as of yet. There's another thing I want to put under here. What is it? Persona non grata by all their streamer friends on Twitch, they get one of the DMCAs retracted. No work-off period for strikes as of yet. We'll come back to that. So yeah, this overreach and stuff like that. Don't you just hate it when something slips your mind because you were too busy doing something else? Oh man, oh man, oh man. Ban evasion policy can be streamed on a fourth persona non grata. So that's the thing. They have to. They have to absolutely be persona non grata by all their streamer friends. It's actually policy. You are required to block them out of your broadcast. Otherwise, you might be considered a supporting ban evasion. That's got to change. No work-off period for strikes on Twitch as... Oh, that's what it is. The big thing, and this is where Twitch will be scrambling the most. No alternatives to strikes for rights holders. Twitch needs a content ID system now. How are they going to get it? That's the question. No alternative to strikes for rights holders. By the way, check the music player. It's not frozen, right? Good. I want Slink getting credit for this. This is one of my favorite YTAL tracks of all time. I've actually put it on Twitter multiple times. He has a YouTube channel and YouTube videos. Make sure to check out Slink's YouTube channel. SLYNK. Type it in the YouTube search box. See here. No alternatives to strikes for rights. This is the big one. So, the music industry, what the music industry has a compelling interest in making, and we've heard that they're working on it, is a system that snoops around, an automation system that automates live DMCAs and VOD DMCAs, stuff like that. That's very, very heady technology that probably going to be hard to get working right. People are, oh, well, yeah, it might be hard to get it working. Yeah, well, it might be hard to get it working right. YouTube already went through this. Remember when people were getting remember when people were getting copyright claim for gusts of wind and other weird stuff like that? Because it matched a sound effects library. So somebody can be out. I mean, how many different ways how many different things can a gust of wind sound like? So this is the stuff Twitch has to figure out now. It's just crazy. But the big thing is no alternatives to strikes. So anybody who wants to assert their rights, a strike is the big thing they have. They need an alternative monetization system like Content ID. Twitch needs an alternative monetization system like Content ID. Question is how they're going to get it. They need that now. It is no longer optional. Net result of this, if I were a Twitch partner with an exclusivity clause in my contract, I'd be either sad, furious, or both right now. Because that's the thing. Twitch partner contracts are individually negotiated, so it depends on what was... And this is something that might have been negotiated in the context of the environment where streamers were like, yeah, you don't have to worry about DMCA, your VODs are going to get muted, that'll be the end of it. So, alright. There we go. So now we got to talk about the platform itself. This is the platform. This is the person side of it. Now the platform side of it is even worse. All right, Twitch now has to scramble post DMCA because now because here's the problem. Before the crackdown, Twitch was and this is the way I've heard it described, platform that was too small. Twitch was a platform that was too small for rights holders to care about. So a culture of streamers using copyrighted music developed. So, let's assume that somebody doesn't want to stop streaming, finds a way out of their Twitch partner contract, maybe works with a lawyer or whatever. Now what? Well, there's still platforms like DLive out there. Way smaller, but just like what I was curious about what was going to happen with Mixer if it stuck around, do we have a situation where people try to leave Twitch somehow and go over to a smaller platform to get back to that environment because they can't adapt their content in order to survive where they have to, where they can't use copyrighted music? So, there was some recent stuff. Somebody bought DLive. Who was it? BitTorrent. Yeah. 2 days ago. BitTorrent announces acquisition of DLive blockchain streaming service. I'm going to mute this because it could play something. An official announcement, BitTorrent plans to migrate all the company-related services to a single ecosystem called BitTorrent X. Interesting. Well, is DLive even a strong brand in the first place? I mean, anyone here never heard of DLive? They're Team Yellow, basically. The only reason I know about DLive is because of Megan Ya, who is a multi-streamer. Probably the most prominent multi-streamer I've seen. She's nothing on Twitch, not even an affiliate, so that way she can stream on literally everything. And she has counters going in most of her streams. She's Canadian, I think. Based out of Canada, plays popular games, but she always has counters for all the platforms she's on. That's the only reason I know why DLive's a thing. If it wasn't for her, I might have heard about it with Ice Beside and streaming on DLive. But that's really the extent of it. BitTorrent announced BitTorrent file system, a new storage solution for running Tron. This is all technical stuff. Network nodes and stuff like that. Decentralized. All blockchain stuff. Yeah, BitTorrent acquires DLive. There we go. Let the feeding frenzy begin. How much money does BitTorrent have versus DLive anyways? World's most popular torrent client, but the company that owns it. Yeah, so DLive acquired. I guess BitTorrent is a stronger brand than DLive because they're going to call it BitTorrent X. BitTorrent, leader in peer-to-peer. This is from Yahoo Finance. Leader in technology today has plans to... We might as well put this one on Twitter. Plans to acquire live streaming platform DLive TV and migrate all BitTorrent-related services to one unified ecosystem named BitTorrent X. BitTorrent X represents the transformation of BitTorrent from a software company to a conglomerate of decentralized storage and data platforms. Okay, does this mean, of course, that DLive is going to become part of this BitTorrent X? Sorry, 90s influence. That was where we had, like, Extreme, X Games, X this, X that. We're more than excited to join the BitTorrent ecosystem as the collaboration will provide us with more innovative solutions. Put this on Twitter. Twitter.com/MultimediaJay. Alright, so DLive has been purchased by, DLive. I don't know, is BitTorrent going to keep the DLive brand or not? That's my question. Yeah. I don't know. Let's do like 5 thinking faces on that one. That one's a good one. Twitter. Where are we here? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 o'clock at Jay's Geek House. Eastern. Get this on here. Zoink. DLive is now completely integrated into the BitTorrent ecosystem. Won't that be funny? Yeah, I stream on BitTorrent. I'm a rebel. Well, oh man. So yeah, next smallest platform. Before the crackdown, Twitch was a platform that was too small for rights holders to care about, so a culture of streamers using copyrighted music developed. If the streamers feel they can't continue without the music and can get out of their partnership, does this mean they go to a smaller platform like DLive, soon to be BitTorrent X? BitTorrent X. You can't get over that, man. Sounds like a cool, edgy name, though. How big exactly would BitTorrent X be versus Twitch? See this. Leave that as a question mark, too. That's definitely a question. So, but this is actually something that belongs on the other slide, though. If the Twitch streamers feel they can't continue without the music and can get out of their partnership, does this mean they go to a smaller platform like DLive, soon to be BitTorrent X? How long does this note go for, DJ Williams? That long, apparently. Why don't we add some more stuff to it? Let's add everything from E's Jammy Jams. We've gotten plenty of that. Why don't we just add some of the stuff by Patrick Patrikios as well? Had that in it. Went on a downloading spree of that earlier. Spying in the 60s. Looking for some more stuff from the YTAL to add to this. I think E's Jammy Jams. Yeah, all the E's Jammy Jam stuff I downloaded afterwards. I got everything. There we go. Adding some more songs here. If the streamers feel they can't continue out the music, does this mean they go to a smaller platform like DLive, soon to be BitTorrent X? Both letters are capitalized, Microsoft. BitTorrent X. Yeah, this song's a little repetitive. There we go. Now you get to move into Charlie Brown territory. So, let's see. For Team Purple, with DMCA chilling the culture, they now are in last place. They now have to scramble to compete. Because let's face it, because this whole thing where Twitch is too small to have to worry about DMCA, if you were on YouTube, you'd have to worry about getting claimed and stuff because it's a huge platform. Well, now that Twitch is big enough, thanks to the pandemic and the lockdowns, to now be in this category, what do they have? They now have to scramble to compete. So, as of October 2020, they have just a strike system. They have just a strike system. No Altmon, as I'm going to call it. No alternative monetization for rights holders like Content ID. There's no way to redirect revenue. There's no way to redirect ad revenue away. Plus, the ad revenue on Twitch is something they're already struggling with. Because before this all happened, if anybody remembers, what was the thing people were complaining about on Twitch before all this DMCA stuff came roaring back? Mid-roll ads. Twitch was trying to find ways to scale up their monetization because so many streamers don't run ads. So, the only real thing that people have is pre-roll ads. Twitch is infamous for those. So, unless the streamer decides to push an ad button, you just get a pre-roll if you're not subscribed to them or not on Twitch Turbo. So, the problem is that monetizes essentially the platform not working well. What's one of the things that YouTube is focused on over many, many years? Getting people to watch something and not spend forever clicking around watching something to watch. So, the more money that Twitch makes from its infamous unskippable pre-rolls, the worse they're doing as a platform. So, the better they get at what it is that they do, the less revenue they generate from ads because the streamers aren't running ads. So, very few. I see very few people, even during obvious parts of a stream, where they'd have a Be Right Back screen or something. They don't run ads. I've seen more Be Right Back screens and empty chairs than I've seen ad breaks on Twitch. Streamers just don't do that. And so, even if ad revenue could be redirected to the rights holder because they played a copyrighted song, you need to have a way of scaling up that ad revenue with stream length in order for it to matter to the rights holders. The RIAA will probably bring this up in a heartbeat. Like, look, all you have is pre-rolls. It doesn't matter that you'll give us their ad revenue. It would have to be, well, they couldn't do that either. Not what I'm thinking of right now, where you do a 3-minute copyrighted song and your next 3 minutes of ads will go to the music thing, because then you'll probably queue up more that you owe to the rights holders than they actually get paid. So, doesn't work the same in a live environment. Yeah, it's going to be very hard to figure that out. They now have to scramble to compete. Just a strike system, no alternative monetization for rights holders, and prior to DMCA Palooza, the hot issue was mid-rolls and finding better ways for Twitch to scale ad revenue. Mid-rolls, etc. Finding better ways for Twitch to scale ad revenue. The current system with Twitch's infamous unskippable pre-rolls means less ad revenue the better Twitch gets, because users do less channel flipping and have an easier time finding someone to watch and keep watching. So that's really it. So this by itself, let's see here. This problem makes even an ad revenue redirect system uninteresting to rights holders. So even if some miracle happened and the heavens opened up and Twitch suddenly had the technology that YouTube has overnight, it's still not as interesting to the RIAA because streamers aren't running ads. So this would probably not go over well with them at all. All of this being speculation, but quite well thought about it, as far as I'm concerned. They have scrambled to compete, so let's see here. The appeal of, at the same time, we know that there is a 100-point difference in audience ratio between YouTube, Facebook, or YouTube or Facebook and Twitch. Both YouTube and Facebook have 100+ hours watched versus hours streamed difference versus Twitch. There's just way too many people streaming on Twitch. Way too many for the audience that is there. Twitch needs to not only bring in a bigger audience, but bring in a bigger audience that doesn't want to stream. And given that Twitch is what's made it appeals, Twitch culture has made it so appealing to be a streamer in the first place. How do you do that? These are the questions that probably keep the Twitch leadership awake at night. It's probably the center focus of whatever their KPIs or whatever are on moving the platform forward, especially when Twitch is not in the same position under Amazon that YouTube is under Google. YouTube is Google's presence with video and streaming. Amazon already had a video platform before they bought Twitch. So, not so much, this is the only thing we have. Amazon would have to basically throw all of their eggs into the Twitch basket, just like Google did when they shut down Google Video, before I could start thinking of Twitch as being in anywhere near a similar position to YouTube. Problem is, you have Twitch. Even if they became purple YouTube overnight, now you got to wait for the user base to get used to that user-based conditioning. People have to want to go to watch video on Twitch for some reason, instead of always streams. And they have a culture to break down as well. For example, what we call videos on YouTube is VODs over there, and it's a second-rate thing. Not as good of an experience as watching live. So, and that's part of the culture. Getting past that would be a major hurdle that Twitch would have to figure out. See, they have to scramble to compete. So, problem makes even an ad revenue indirect system uninteresting to rights holders. If Twitch caught up to YouTube tech-wise, if Twitch miraculously caught up, there we go. If Twitch miraculously caught up to YouTube tech-wise overnight, they still would have work to do. That's the kind of gravity of what we're talking about here. So what does this mean? With the scrambling in order to stay competitive, they're now the worst platform versus YouTube. Because of the unintended consequences of the ban evasion policy, it is a nightmare situation for a content creator to get banned from Twitch. Because, their friends can't stream with them, things like that. There's actually a guy I was just reading about yesterday, I forgot what his name was. He was perma-banned on Twitch for self-harm, for bonking himself in the head with a keyboard or something. So, that recently got reversed, because he's become a YouTube streamer since then. But I don't think he should go back to Twitch. I think all he should do, with having been unbanned on Twitch, is play games with Twitch streamers again. If he's established on YouTube, he should stay here. Keep Twitch as a backup platform in case something goes wrong with YouTube. That's really it. Just because you have presences on multiple platforms, does that really mean you should be using them all at once? I've been thinking about that with Twitch, actually. What if I should just nuke the whole channel and leave it empty? And only do special events over there? Twitch was fun kicking the tires for streaming and stuff like that, but other than Amazon watch parties and gaming stuff that I don't... Because Twitch streams by default expire, so it'll be up for like 2-3 months and then be gone. So you don't have this flooded backlog of stuff like that. There are some things that Twitch is better than YouTube at, but when YouTube, I think, gets more stuff mature as far as technology goes, like this concurrent viewer counter, I can tell is not working correctly tonight. No, unless everybody watching persistently keeps refreshing their browsers, there's nothing else that explains these numbers. Probably something that'll be fixed next week. Let's see here. It's a nightmare situation for a content creator to get banned from Twitch. So that's the thing. Because of that, it now chills your interest. If you know how all this works, this chills your interest in being involved in the platform. It's a nightmare situation for a content creator to get banned from Twitch. So, since the... let's see here. Since the crackdown has happened, Twitch streamers should reconsider whether to stay involved on Twitch or join the platform with the more mature and polished technology for processing content ID. 3 guesses what that is. Team Red Ascendant! Or join the platform with the more mature and polished technology for processing content ID and DMCA. This might be a little too jazzy. Oh, is this... Whether stay involved on Twitch or join the platform with the more mature and polished technology for processing content ID and DMCA. So that's the thing. So that's the situation that we're looking at here. From both a people and a platform perspective, there is a lot that Twitch streamers need to think about. So, no surprise that we got all these streamers that are just blanking their channels and they're like, now what? Some of them are still streaming, but I think they're going to run into... I think, really, there should be an exodus to YouTube at this point. There needs to be more Valkyrays in the world. You know, I'm just curious who's going to be the first one to figure this out and find a way out of their contract and or switch to YouTube when it expires if it was up for renewal or something like that, or the term was coming to an end. So, yeah, there need to be more Valkyrays in the world. People coming over to YouTube. Facebook does have technology as well, but it's not as developed. So, plus there's other systemic issues over there as well. They have to figure out the real names thing. If Facebook figures out the real names thing, I start considering them a contender versus YouTube. Until then, they're a joke. Better for more personal stuff with family and friends, not for content creation or general, entertaining an audience type stuff like what I do. Let's see here. Twitch streamers be considered whether to stay involved in Twitch on the platform with a more mature, polished technology for content ID and DMCA. Hashtag SquadYT. Team Red Ascendant. Go YouTube. There's actually a Creator Insider video just the other day about improvements to live analytics. It's one of the reasons why I'm chuckling at this bugged concurrent counter. Just from the numbers I've seen tonight, though, YouTube's definitely my preferred platform for behind-the-scenes streams, except for some wild exceptions. I really got to rethink what I even have on Twitch in the first place, other than gaming stuff. It seems like Twitch wants to double down on gaming anyways, even though it's a mature technology over there with really not much for growth potential left, unless another Among Us game comes out. But I'll tell you right now, Among Us is a game that's going to collapse. When people figure out the side effects of what Among Us has done to them as streamers and their reputations, and if not making the streamer look bad, attracting a toxic audience because of all the stuff that Among Us has in it for people doing stuff over voice chat, they might attract a lot of people that are big into drama and stuff. And we all know what happens with that. You get too toxic of an audience, they become unruly, and you can't handle them as a creator. And in the case of IRL streamers like Ice Poseidon, you can actually put people's safety at risk and get you in trouble with your platform. So they take you down with them and are laughing all the way. Not good. So there we go with this. Probably the other graphic that we should make, definitely save too. The other graphic we should make is going to... We got to talk about... It should be red and purple, but not entirely. So let's save here. Let's save here, and let's bring in a slide from... from another PowerPoint thing. Oh, this is Patrick Patricios. Lots of recent things for the YTAL for this guy. YouTube versus Twitch. We'll take this slide and we'll just copy it over, and we'll modify it a bit. Oftentimes, there's no need to reinvent the wheel. So YouTube versus Twitch, close the other PowerPoint so the system doesn't get confused. All right, let's see here. PowerPoint. All right, let's get to this. All right, so the other thing I've been thinking about lately is Twitch Soundtrack, the rights cleared music tool for Twitch, which looks more like something Amazon would make than something Google would make. Granted, we know that YouTube has things to work out with the YouTube audio library. They got to tie it into Content ID a lot better. I've actually started, I don't know if I can do this on stream without risking more Content ID claims. I could put an audio swap mode or something that just does all music. But one of the things you got to remember, some people tell me sometimes that I'd make a really good police detective. Because I'm just putting the dots together, investigating things, tracking things down, etc., being good with the internet and being good with search engines. So, the entity, I should say, don't know if it's a person, a company, or somewhere in between, is Cardinal Sounds, that was submitting stuff to Label Engine that led to the problems I had with my last stream. Well, I went searching for similar videos because there are videos on the YouTube Content ID system, those auto-generated YouTube videos that come into existence when something's in Content ID. So there's a couple of those that have the Cardinal logo on them. So I went over to Various Artists Topic, which is a aggregation channel. It's not an actual channel. It just aggregates everything in the Content ID system that's under various artists. Had a very hard... I scrolled forever and couldn't find the other stuff with the Cardinal Sounds logo. So what I did was I went to the Wha Happenin' bogus name for the Silent Partner song, and I actually took the that whatever that copyright weird thing was, and the name of and I actually put it on Twitter. Then I Google searched it outside of YouTube, and I looked at video results, and I found several more songs on generated videos by the Content ID system. I'm gonna go match them up to YTAL tracks, probably Silent Partner, I'm guessing. And I'm going to actually, every time I find out about a compromised YTAL track, I'm going to add it to the blog entry that I posted today. MultimediaJay's list of compromised YouTube audio library songs. Over on my blog at multimediajay.wordpress.com. We're going to keep the videos on there, and the way that blog entry is going to work is when one side or the other wins, you're going to see, hopefully, YouTube and the YTAL, you're going to see the embed break. Hopefully. I don't know if that works that way or not, but I think we know that those things come into existence when something's in Content ID. So does that mean the video is automatically taken down if something is removed from the Content ID system? Got to figure that out somehow. All right. Let's get our PowerPoint going here. Next. The shortcomings of Twitch Soundtrack. Twitch Soundtrack is exactly what I'd expect Amazon to make. It's marry-up technology. The way it works, we can blank all this because none of this is relevant. I just want the red and the purple shapes. Make them all the same size. There we go. Shortcomings of the Twitch Soundtrack. Take this text box. This in here. Blank the text. Except for that. We'll do whatever we need to for this. What is this? It sounds like something that I hear. Oh, it's Slink again. That's right. Shortcomings of Twitch Soundtrack. So Twitch Soundtrack works similar to Amazon Watch Parties. It marries up your stream with the copyrighted material but keeps them separate. So in this case, there's 6 channels in OBS for sound. Channel 6 is your VOD. Channel 6 going to Twitch is VOD audio. Channel 1 is live audio. So the plugin, you put it on channel 6, it blocks the music from going on channel 6 and lets everything else through. So it sends the music out to what you're listening to, so you hear it, and your audience hears it when you're live, but it doesn't make it into the VOD. It's exactly the kind of marry-up technology that I expect Amazon to use. However, it'll have unintended consequences. Start the text. Twitch sound, and we want to actually reverse the red. We actually want to reverse the red and the purple for this one, because Yeah, we want to actually reverse the red and the purple for this one. Is it just me, or does a lot of Slink's music have something to do with video games? Or, you know, growing up with Nintendo or something. All these sound effects that sound similar to it. Twitch Soundtrack is Twitch's answer to the YouTube audio library. And reflects the difference in approach, in the differences between Google and Amazon. Twitch Soundtrack uses marry-up technology to avoid infringement, similar to Amazon watch parties. So it keeps the copyrighted material out of your stream by just joining them together. If you do a watch party, the movie is streaming off of Amazon Prime service. You are supposed to put your full screen camera on for the stream part of it. And you cannot have the sound or the video in there, so otherwise you can get DMCA'd for copyrighted material in a stream. And Twitch even has a very explicit warning that you could be liable for DMCA if you... And so that's why if a Twitch streamer knows what they're doing, they're going to be wearing headphones like they normally do when streaming. They're not going to, you know, put everything through their speakers because they don't want the sound from the movie getting into their part of the stream. They want everything staying on Amazon's side. So, to avoid infringement similar to Amazon watch parties, this will have the unintended consequence of reinforcing VODs as a secondary experience versus live content on Twitch. This is where we need the third. This is where we need a third shape. Reinforcing VODs as a secondary experience versus the live content on Twitch. So here's the issue. And we'll need a third one of these shapes, actually. We're just pick a different type of purple and make it more vibrant. Fill color. Will this work? How about something, is there neon purple in here, or is that too bright? You could always do pink, but Twitch's colors are purple. Do this. How about lavender? Let's just use green. Green for go, or something like that. This theoretically... Yeah, these are amber glasses, so they're going to throw off my perception of color. Whoops, that was the outline. I didn't want that. I wanted the fill color to be that color. Ugh. Maybe I should get my glasses. All right. This is nice and bright, which is exactly what I'm looking for. Might want to put some arrows in here, too. So that at first glance, you know, this sounds kind of cool, that you'll start out with something live. At first glance, it sounds pretty cool. You know what? Let's make this dark green. There we go. Edit text. Original Twitch live stream. So here's the idea. This is the original Twitch live stream. Looks good. Sounds good. Uses music from Twitch Soundtrack, which will not make it into the VOD. Looks good, sounds good, uses music from Twitch Soundtrack for the original live stream. The issue here, of course, is because the music gets blocked out, the unintended consequence is that the Twitch version after the fact, especially if you're a multi-platform creator, and you want to extract highlights and stuff from your streams, now the YouTube version will have music that you can put in from the YouTube audio library. The dullest version of your content is going to be the stuff that is after the fact on Twitch. So this is not going to help Twitch with one of the biggest problems with their expansion outside of streaming. You think about Twitch versus YouTube versus Facebook. Two things that the thing that the other two platforms have that Twitch does not is something you can do when you're not watching streams. Facebook has video, and it has, of course, all the Facebook-y stuff. YouTube has video. You can rent movies as well and other stuff like that. So you can also rent movies and stuff. I mean, there's anything video related that's not live stream, you do it on YouTube. So both YouTube and Facebook have reasons to be there besides when streams are going on. Twitch has streaming, and the culture is so streaming focused that there are actually, the term VOD is used in a derogatory fashion. VOD means video on demand. I think of that largely as like watching pay-per-view movies or something like that on TV. So, or just some kind of service. It's done on the internet these days as well. But original Twitch live stream looks good, sounds good, uses music from Twitch soundtrack. Now, if I make this smaller, I can actually make little arrows to go to this, all right? And we'll actually bring over the terminology here. Twitch VOD. This will be the Twitch VOD, and this will be the YouTube video. So one of the selling points that we're seeing from Twitch is they're like, yeah, let's gonna strip out the music so that like the VOD, if you send it to YouTube or another platform, you can put music into it or something like that. Well, number one, this should allow YouTube's cloud editor should be usable in terms of adding YTAL tracks via the cloud to a video for background music. Set the volume level, bring it at like 7% or something. YouTube should add that to the cloud editor for videos. Why? If they don't, they're lazy. Let's see. It just seems like such a common sense thing. So what was the size for this? This was 28. This is Dr. Momentum. This is the song that I swear is some kind of reference to Dr. Disrespect. Sounds like his kind of 80s-ish music, and of course, who could forget violence, speed, momentum. 28. Take this to 28 as well. Not bad for no cold ones, by the way, with not sounding too cracked up. I think I gotta stop drinking that cherry limeade. I think it got too many artificial colors in it versus the other, sugarless drinks that I can make. Looks good, sounds good, uses music from Twitch soundtrack. Let's see here. The regular size font is 18. It's a 10-point difference in the fonts, as well as put it on the left. No music. Let's see here. Off, and that. No music from Twitch. No, it doesn't even matter. No music. No music. Boring. No music. The Twitch VOD version of the content is now the most boring of the three. This does not help Twitch's overemphasis on live streaming as an ecosystem. I don't even want to say platform. Just the platform, the culture, it all comes together for basically the Twitch experience. Let's see here. So the two concurrent viewers that are left, I just want to remind you folks that this is not Twitch. I'm not going for an affiliate goal. I'm not looking for a partner goal. So if you folks are only keeping the stream going to support me, that's not how it works in this ecosystem on YouTube. So don't feel like you need to, be guilt tripped or something to keeping the stream open to try and help me out, because it doesn't matter over here. I'm already a Twitch partner. I'm already a YouTube partner, excuse me. So, and YouTube, very importantly, does not have an emphasis on concurrent viewers, unlike Twitch. So if you think about it, all of the unintended consequences of focusing on concurrent viewers are only a thing on Team Purple. So I'll assume that those of you that are watching because you find this interesting, and thanks for watching. But if you have old habits from Twitch, welcome to YouTube, welcome to Team Red territory. They don't apply here. Don't feel guilty or anything if you have to go off and do other things. That's something I've been thinking a lot about, too, is that all these people, I want to get Twitch affiliate, I'm so close, someone please help be my third concurrent viewer. And so they got their friends running their streams and not even watching it. I just leave it going on my laptop while I go to bed, or something like that. So, it's all these dumb things people do, and it hurts the reliability of the numbers on Twitch in the long run. So, at some point I think Twitch will crack down on that, but I don't think they're in a position to be fussy about anything right now. The Twitch VOD version of the content is now the most boring of the three. This does not help Twitch's overemphasis on live streaming as an ecosystem. Let's make the YouTube video block here. It's here, down to size 18. Oh, you're such a YouTube elitist. Hey, I like to give people credit. I like to give platforms credit for doing things right. YouTube is the biggest is a big mixed bag, but when they do stuff right, I want to give them credit for it. YouTube video, mostly the live teams, live control room and stuff like that. Oh, they gotta fix this counter. YouTube video. All right, so this could have, and this is something that Twitch is officially advertising, can have music re-added via the YTAL, can have music re-added via the YTAL, or a copyright safe music source, or you could just let a record company, have your ad revenue. So, results will vary, but at least it won't be the most boring because there's no music. Results may vary based on the music that's re-added, but results may vary based on these re-added. So that's something I'm really confused about with YouTube. Let me open up another Firefox tab. YouTube.com/MultimediaJay. Give me one of my videos. Any of them. Manage. Into studio I go. Post-DMCA. Glad people are watching some of this multimedia meta stuff. I do have to fix that playlist though. The streams and stuff from streams playlist needs to be split. Streams only and stuff from streams. Put all the really long stuff in its own playlist. Valkyrie does that as well for her past streams. So let's see here. Let's just do the silliness of no self-promotion. Go into the editor. Can I insert music when there isn't a copyright claim? What do you know? Firefox, don't show live control room, please. It didn't. Cut the music. Okay. Look at this. YouTube audio library tracks. I think the issue is the volume's either going to be too loud or it's going to replace the audio. This is the thing I think YouTube needs to work on next. But let's play this. I've long been an enemy of no self-promotion because I know that it's Johnny-come-lately compared to YouTube. In the early days of YouTube, creators blah blah blah, back to the beginning. What does it do? There's a plus button. What does that do? What's this? How about we add like DJ Williams, the missing 11th, the sound of a dollar. Let's add the opening. We're 69 Bronco, Nemesis and Frank. 75 and lower. Let's add this one. What does this do? Is it at 100% volume though? And I have no way of controlling the volume. Oh wait, there's a mix level. When did this get added? This is like a live demonstration of what you can do with stuff you send over from Twitch. Let's play it. Yeah, so mix level. Let's bring it down to like here. Regenerate that preview, baby. Oh man, give me a longer video. Can I add another song later in the... Oh, this is a big... Oh. Team Red, baby. Squad YT. Look at this. I know that it's Johnny-come-lately. So that's a mix between wet and dry. Maybe I have it backwards. Let me take it down, this all the way down. Let's bring it to just a tick mark away from the side. And have it regenerate that platform. There's a blurring tool in here. What's this other one do? Picture in picture? What's this? Oh, an end screen. Okay, that's the end screen. This is to blur stuff, like sensitive info, things like that. What does this sound like now? I've long been an enemy of no self... Too loud. Okay, how about for the mix level... How about for the mix level, we take it all the way over to the other side? I wonder if it might be compressing going through OBS as well. Let's take it to the other side. I just want to be able to add soft background music to something that doesn't have it. Okay? Boom. I wonder if it's compressed. I wonder if it's getting compressed. Let's see, mix level. What do we turn it all the way down? Does it go back to no music, or does it turn it all the way down? So this is probably getting compressed going into the stream in the headphones, but I got to do some playing with this. This is something that the YouTube teams need to work on, because what this will do, this will let you interject if you use Twitch Soundtrack, the way that Twitch is like, oh yeah, take out the music so you can send it to other platforms. Not going to say YouTube, obviously. What does this sound like?
YouTubers, as it were,
a little too loud.
They had regular dialogue with each other, and many times they would make videos in response.
Is there a way I can adjust? No, there's a mix level for that song. It's not the same as using a real video editor, but it's getting there. This mix level thing, though, is totally... Yeah, this mix level thing... Oh, wait a minute! It didn't regenerate before, did it? Oh, what is this? Not going to keep the changes anyways. This is the thing. There's a lot of things that can go wrong technologically with download, edit, re-upload. The more these platforms can do in the cloud for really basic edits like this, the better. That's one of the things that I think Twitch does better than YouTube, is that the highlight maker is a lot less clunky than the video editor in terms of trimming out stuff, because you can dial in actual timestamps. Watch now, the YouTube teams will put that in. So you can actually dial in a start and end timestamp like you can on Twitch. What does this sound like?
Totally reasonable for any creator to be proud of what they're doing.
The music's way too loud. When this gets refined, though, you'll be able to add background music at background level volume on YouTube. After the fact. Completely through the cloud. Discard changes. Huh. Whoa. So, Valkyrie's streaming. Yay! Probably, is she playing Among Us again? Gee, I wonder. Not even gonna look. I'm that much of a dice roller today. PowerPoint! So, when YouTube refines that tool, or maybe I can't hear it right because the audio is getting compressed to go out to the internet, similar to a radio show. If I can put in background music after the fact at a background music level, like only 7% to 10% volume, this will cement what it is that we're making in this slide. The Twitch VOD, well, the net effect of Twitch Soundtrack is that it's going to make an existing problem on Twitch worse. It'll let people use rights-cleared music, but without a tool similar to YouTube for adding stuff after the fact. And why would Twitch have a cloud video editor in the first place? Might be something they might want to chase after at this point. This basically means that as a multi-platform creator, the Twitch version after the fact of what it is that you make is the most boring because it doesn't have any music. See. YouTube video can have music re-added via the YTAL or a copyright-safe music source, or you can just let a record company have your ad revenue. Results may vary based on the music that's re-added, but it will at least have music. What if you have somebody on YouTube who doesn't mind a bazillion content ID claims, and they use Twitch Soundtrack for their stream? The VOD has no music. They export to YouTube, because Twitch has a very robust YouTube exporter. Which, by the way, those of you that have noticed, and I apologize for this, those of you who have noticed the radio-style clips and other clips that have come over from Twitch that have had like that half second that's off, YouTube's editor is more precise on trimming than Twitch's highlight creator, so I can use the YouTube editor to fix those. So if I have like an extra syllable or something because Twitch wasn't precise enough, I can fix it on the YouTube side. Just found that out today. I haven't traditionally done much with the YouTube cloud editor because it's traditionally been rather crappy, but I think it's got enough stuff in there now that in terms of basic touch-ups and stuff like that, it's especially things like face blurring, it's a lot more interesting than it used to be. Have your ad revenue. Results may vary based on the music that's re-added, but it will at least have music. Net effect, the Twitch VOD is the worst. So, Twitch Live, it's good, but here's something to consider too. You use the rights cleared music on Twitch, forget the VOD. On YouTube, you put in the copyright music you actually wanted to use and take the hit, send the money off to the record company. So you have blah blah dubstep whatever that nobody's ever heard about, or whatever the electronic auto-tuned to death stuff is on their electronic. You can check it out, by the way. Twitch Soundtrack, just link it up to your Twitch account. You can use it like Pandora even when you're not streaming. So you can check out some of the tunes in advance. You can have NCS sounding music, overly electronic dubstep clearinghouse whatever, on your live stream on Twitch, but if people watch the clip on YouTube, it'll have like Queen's We Are the Champions, and you just give up your ad revenue and send it off to the record company to have that clip on YouTube. Talk about a VCR effect. Holy crap. Absolute VCR effect. This is just... The more I think about this, the more I think even more about this. It's the sort of thing that snowballs very easily. We can get some speaking of music, we can fire the YTAL stuff back up again. And the drive can spin up again. Yeah, I gotta upgrade the hard drives in Monolith and the data array. I've been using 2.5-inch drives for power efficiency reasons, but now 3.5-inch drives are actually a lot more efficient than they were a couple of years ago, as the drive companies have tried to compete more with SSDs, or at least not have, or at least be greener. Hard drives will never compete with SSDs. Matter of fact, the hard drive companies now make SSDs. So, I actually want to get some 2 terabyte drives, 3.5, maybe Seagate Barracuda or something for the data array. It doesn't do very much these days. I'm not running an OS off a hard drive anymore. We did very well during the summer volume season when I wasn't hardly doing anything on these platforms back with the 9 to 5. So we all got like $100 gift cards. Like, whoa. You know, nice to get a bonus at a warehouse job. I don't associate quarterly bonuses with jobs like this, but oh man, oh man, oh man. All this because there's nothing out in these woods except for that. Unless you want to hang out at Walmart all the time. Welcome to Walmart. Here's a little sticker. Actually, I haven't seen that from the Walmart greeters in a long time. All right, so let's get some arrows. Let's get some block arrows on this. People in blogs. I hope that's an appropriate category for this. It's not like Twitch where I have to say, oh, first it's an art stream, then it's a science and technology stream, then it's talk shows and podcasts, even though it's kind of a combination of the three. Twitch used to have a creative category, but it's been deprecated. Wish I could use that for like generic making stuff like this. This isn't really art. It's not really a talk show. It's kind of mixed all together. Or I'm just, you know, exposing more shortcomings of Twitch's category catalog. It's fun for finding video games to watch, but for the non-gaming categories, it's kind of dumb. Give me a block arrow. What kind of block arrows can you play with here? They must be block arrows, too. We do curved arrows. Why don't we do that? There we go. We want to make them a different color as well. So let's just do blue and white. Or well, we don't have blue, we don't have to use for blue in this thing. This one. Because these glasses are ambers. And let's actually do a white border for the outline. Now in PowerPoint, nope. I think it's hold down Shift. Force it to go at set intervals for the angles. Do this. Right about to that. Not the best flowchart arrow in the world. What do these yellow things do? Oh, they make it fatter. Just what I'm looking for. Ah! Haven't done this in a while in MS Office. Excuse me. Microsoft 365. Ah, yeah. Cool. So I can get this shaped correctly. And then just make a copy of it and invert it for the other side. Nope. Use the shift key to make sure it's the same. No. Whee! Nope. Is there some way that I could just like rotate it like this? Edit text, edit points. I want this to be the same size. Well, what we can do, line it up like this, and then use this to line it up that way. I love this snap grid in all the newer versions of Office, and how it helps you line everything up to make it look nice. There we go. We actually can probably move these down a little to make them center a little better. This is another Slink track I like. I used it on the Radio Style show a couple of times. As far as MultimediaJay Radio Style goes, by the way, MultimediaJay Radio Style, I want it to sound more like the radio, which means I need to make a lot more production material. One of the things I've observed with... One of the things that... Oh, I didn't even have PowerPoint on the screen all that time. Well, let's... Here you go. Here's what I've been doing. So, I've got the live preview right there, too. How did I not see this? The Radio Style show. One of the big things with the Radio Style show is I want it to sound like it's the radio. What I need for that is a lot more production material. Now, OBS has playlists, so theoretically I can make clickable scenes to play like the station ID, haha, and any kind of bump music I wanted, or rotate between stuff to play for like the Be Right Back screen or something. It's not quite like a radio station's automation software. It's somewhere between, haha, totally stupid Winamp and a radio station automation. So it's somewhere in the middle. Probably could make it sound pretty good. But I think, since I'm not out in DSL country anymore, and that was a lot of the reasons why I had the Radio Style show in the first place, whether I should relegate it to just making little things here and there with the streaming software offline that I can edit to make it better for Twitch, for YouTube, and just discontinue all the involvement on Twitch. Because I really think that just streaming in general, I mean, I sound like I'm on the radio, just minus a little bit of EQ, just doing this. I don't need to limit myself like that. Alright. Twitch Soundtrack uses marry-up technology to avoid infringement similar to Amazon Watch Parties. This will have the unintended consequence of reinforcing VODs as secondary experience versus live content on Twitch. Let's see here. With 3 versions of the same content, the Twitch VOD will be the most boring. Now, we know what the solution to this is. The solution to this is for Twitch to have what YouTube has and have a whitelisted, if they can get it working, music catalog to use. Something that's cleared for use on Twitch. Here's the fun part. If Twitch gets this working to where the music can stay in the VODs after the fact, and they fix this problem, that actually helps with their obsession with exclusivity. Because there will be songs that you can only use on Twitch, so if you send it to YouTube, you could have copyright issues. So that helps with keeping the talent on, or keeping the stuff on Twitch, keeping it watched on Twitch. I'm sure there's probably somebody at Twitch who already wants to do this. Twitch is so fanatical about exclusivity compared to YouTube and Facebook. There is no way somebody doesn't already want to do this. They're just trying to figure out how. They do have ambition over there in Purple Land. Very big ambition sometimes. But there you go. Shortcomings of the Twitch Soundtrack. Twitch Soundtrack is Twitch's answer to the YouTube audio library and reflects the differences between Google and Amazon. Twitch Soundtrack uses marry-up technology to avoid infringement similar to Amazon Watch Parties. This will have the unintended consequence of reinforcing VODs as a secondary experience versus live content on Twitch. With 3 versions of the same content, the Twitch VOD will be the most boring. Because there's no music. You'll have good music when you're live, and when you send it to YouTube, if they polish up the editor a little, or download, edit, re-upload, you can re-add music from the YouTube audio library, or copyrighted music if you don't mind, you know, the risk to your channel, or giving away your ad revenue. So the net effect is going to be that Twitch VODs are still going to be an undesirable viewing experience versus live Twitch and YouTube Twitch. And this is one of the things I'm thinking about with creators like Yugi, for example. A lot of what she did was dance to K-pop. So, I mean, she could get her ad revenue. Well, the problem is that one of the things I read about with YouTube streaming is that too much third-party content identification gets your access disabled. So I don't know if streaming on YouTube is there yet. So, oh yeah, I'm gonna dance to top 40 hits and stuff. I'm gonna play Just Dance or something. Okay, we'll send all your ad revenue to the record companies. Now, I don't know if that's there yet like it is for videos. If somebody did like a Let's Play or a song cover or something like that, you know, or they did something along those lines, then it's more cut and dry. Maybe not so much now that we know that the thing that says what's going to happen if you play copyrighted music on your YouTube channel is no longer a thing with the retirement of Creator Studio Classic. But there are Twitch people that are pretty jealous of YouTube right now because YouTube has Content ID. YouTube has alternatives to strikes all the time. So you can theoretically, if you don't mind giving away all your ad revenue to record companies, you could theoretically do songs that get claimed and don't get takedown notices. You gotta be careful with that, though. At least, though, there are some companies with social media policies available on their websites that actually will tell you, if you do this, we will issue a takedown against you, or if you do this, we'll take the ad revenue, or if you do this, we'll block you, or something. So, I just want to stick to original stuff and do the best I can with the resources that are given to me, like the YTAL. So that way, somebody can't make the accusation that, oh, he has copyright music. It's because he has his music. It's not because he's any good at what he does. With any success I find on this platform at all. Plus, I find it a unique challenge to become so familiar with the YTAL's music and what it sounds like to be able to match it up to stuff that I'm doing. Like what we're listening to right now. This is DJ Williams' first class. Very, very jazzy sounding. I don't think this is too far out of place. Let's just start it over again. I don't think this is too far out of place versus copyrighted music for background music. And there are some tracks, particularly in the ambient relaxing category, that sometimes I listen to the music and I want to make like a montage video about, like a nature video or something. So there's some good stuff on the YTAL these days. YouTube just has to tie it in with Content ID more to deal with the bad actors that are resubmitting YTAL songs, like what I ran into earlier. So there we go. Twitch soundtrack is Twitch's answer, It is not a direct competitor to the YouTube audio library, and it doesn't do as much. For the time being, I would consider Twitch soundtrack to be a band-aid. Absolutely a band-aid. So, might make a highlight of this too. Except it's too rambly. It'd be probably better off for me to just take this graphic and make a regular YouTube video about it. Get around the limitations of live streaming. And the people that tuned in, they got to see the behind the scenes on this stuff. So, alright, well that's enough PowerPoint for one night. We got lots of nice graphics. Let's get to that playlist thing. 6:56 at Jay's Geek House. Gotta head out and do some stuff later tonight, as well as finish the chores for the weekend. But let's take a look at some other thing here. Not going to do the research just yet on that bad actor. I'll do that while the laundry's finishing up. Or if there's another streamer that's online, like on Twitch or something, I might watch that streamer. Who is on Twitch right now? XQC's doing something. Casey Tron's doing something. Harris Heller's still going. That's long for him for stream time. I want to see how S-Fan is navigating... I might want to see how S-Fan is navigating this post-DMCA world as well, what he's planning. He does have a Monster Cat license for Monster Cat Gold, so I'm not familiar at all with Monster Cat music, but well, barely familiar. I've heard a couple of tracks. Sounds a little bit better than NCS. Although NCS, that Interstellar song was pretty nice. So let's go to YouTube and Firefox here. Let's do the playlist split. Valkyrie. Okay, I give in. She's playing Among Us, right? Oh, Genshin Impact, then Among Us. Okay, I was half right. Can't stay away from that Among Us, madam. Wait till some more of these streamers figure out. Yeah, wait till some more of these streamers figure out what the issue is with Among Us. YouTube.com/MultimediaJay. Let's finish this up here. would manage the channel here. And okay, so streams and stuff from streams. Hey, it's my favorite Slink song again. Hey, I don't mind if it plays twice. This isn't an adult contemporary station. You will never hear the same sappy love song twice between 9 a.m. and 5 p.m. It's 6:58, so blah. One or more videos have been removed because they were deleted from YouTube. Yeah, I took down... Not gonna have VODs on YouTube anymore. So, chat, you don't have to worry about, you know, some embarrassing message you type making into... I mean, big messages I'll respond to, but it is more worth it on YouTube right now to do spin-off videos than to wait for the VOD to finish processing. So, if you're gonna do a video, if you're gonna do, like, past streams, spin-off video, that is hands down the best thing for me to do. Let me just redo this here. Alright. Now, we'd be better off doing this off stream, because there's no way to select stuff. I'd have to open up a bunch of windows and have maybe a lot of extra noise start playing. So here's what's going to happen next then. We'll do that. We'll do that afterwards. Let's see here. Firefox! So, streams and stuff from streams is going to be split. By the way, my channel has mouse over previews. Even more of a reason to not do any goofy thumbnails, because people can break through them, so to speak, with my mouse over previews. There you go. So here's what's next. Streams and stuff from streams, we're going to split that. Stuff from streams is going to have everything. The long-form stuff will be all by itself in a stream playlist. Similar to, like, VODs. I'm just not going to call them VODs, because I'm not a Twitch guy. So, that way all the long-form stuff that's hour plus or whatever can be in one place, and it doesn't... If you, particularly with people that are auto-playing playlists, you don't want a situation where 3-minute clip, 32-minute high... Well, this was short anyways, but, yeah, so full streams will be by themselves. And all these little things, like for the 3-minute clip, 15-minute highlight, da-da-da. If it's a special, like MultimediaJay versus Streamlabs Stream Hatchet Q3, that's a full stream, even though it's an hour. So hour-long plus stuff will have its own playlist, and things that are shorter, closer to regular YouTube videos, will be in something called Stuff from Streams. We'll mod that after that. I freed up some space on the channel to put some more sections in, so we'll be sure to do that. All right. Want to thank the folks for tuning in tonight who stopped by. YouTube is going to be my main streaming platform. Might do some stuff here and there on Twitch that's more worth doing on Twitch, but I am not afraid of firing up live control room. Gonna modify some stuff with the alerts and stuff afterwards. So, thanks to... There you go. Thanks to the folks who followed tonight. I'll be sure to play this next time on Twitch as well. Alright, social media is youtube.com/multimediajay, twitter.com/multimediajay, twitch.tv/multimediajay, and multimediajay.wordpress.com. Till next time, this is MultimediaJay signing off. Thanks for stopping by.